Hello, this is CBC Windsor News. I'm Acton Clarkin. The city's chief of police is retiring, and on Monday, we got a fresh face at the top. Jason Vio has the details.
Surrounded by his wife, two sons, many police officers and politicians, Jason Crawley has been named the new chief of police in Windsor.
We will forge stronger connections with the community, and we will ensure policing is collaborative, responsive, and grounded in trust.
Crawley has been a police officer for 32 years and spent the last 3 of those as deputy chief. His first course of action?
Top priority is service delivery. Taking care of our members, because if we don't take care of our members, our service delivery will suffer as well.
Today is also the first time he's publicly addressed a stunt driving charge from 2023 after questions from CBC News.
I know that incidents like that will erode public trust, and I work at it every day to gain that trust back.
In January 2023, he was pulled over for driving 111 kilometers an hour in an area with a posted speed limit of 70. Crawley was driving his personal vehicle on his own time when he was pulled over by a Windsor police officer. At the time, Crawley's vehicle was not impounded and license not suspended, as is required by law. It wasn't until February until he was charged, and police made all of this public, which was after CBC began asking about it. In the end, the Ontario Civilian Police Commission reviewed why he wasn't initially charged and found that everyone acted in good faith, but there were several misunderstandings. Crawley ended up pleading guilty to speeding and paying a $352 fine. However, the board decided against any internal discipline for his actions because he had, quote, gone through enough.
For people to say, maybe the consideration shouldn't have been in terms of making this individual the chief of police, I am telling you that this police board and the police search that was undertaken took everything into consideration. This is a man of honor. He stood up and took whatever decision was made in terms of penalties, and he has had extensive police experience here in the city of Windsor.
But the Windsor Police Association has said this illustrates a two-tiered disciplinary system where some are held internally accountable, and in this case, Crawley wasn't. If an officer is charged criminally, oftentimes a Police Services Act hearing or some internal discipline will follow, which could include a loss of pay or demotion.
I can see how it would be perceived, but I was held accountable, and I took all the responsibility in that, and I made a mistake. And I certainly try to earn the trust of the community back every single day.
Board Chair Joanne Gignac says that Crawley is on a 3-year contract, which is different than his 2 predecessors, Jason Belair and Pam Mizuno, who both left about halfway through their 5-year contracts. Now, the board also has a vacant deputy chief position they must fill, and Gignac also says that Crawley beat out 10 external applicants and 1 internal applicant for the job of chief of police. Jason Vio, CBC News, Windsor.
Windsor has a new chief of police. I'm out here to ask folks what they want the top cop to tackle first.
I've lived here in this area for 25 years, and I've seen the deterioration of this neighborhood. There are businesses that get broken into. I don't see police riding bikes, walking around, or being part of the community. They need to increase their visibility.
How safe do you feel around downtown?
I know where to go and I know where not to go, but I would most certainly not walk in here in the dark or at night.
Downtown here, I do notice a good police presence. I see police walking the beat a lot. Just somehow get a message out there through public relations people that, hey, we're doing this, and don't try to blow smoke up people's rear end. We're doing this, we're tackling this, and just make yourself maybe more visible.
When you go outside and you are alone and it is late of the night, you don't feel safe outside. So we want just first thing is safety.
I think the chief should tackle some helping the homeless people out, definitely for sure. I've seen a growing population that with all the prices rising and everything. I've definitely seen a lot more people on the streets than before there was, even a couple of years ago. So.
Well, first of all, I wish him a good tenure and trouble-free tenure. But I would like the police to look more closely at the car thefts, breaking in cars, especially in the parking lots around the city. I've been living here for 21 years. Windsor is not particularly a violent city, unlike the city on the other side of the river, We're relatively peaceful, feel safe, confident, day or night.
OPP in Tecumseh are asking people to keep their eyes peeled for a missing cross, one with more than a century of local history.
Sometime between November 6th and November 8th, a cross was stolen at a property at the 12,300 block of Tecumseh Road. It's the Tecumseh Historical Society. And the cross is original cross from St. Anne's Church, and it dates back to 1891. There was some damage to the concrete base of the cross, and some individuals removed it with force. There's different possibilities. One that we're leaning to is potentially someone wanted it for the scrap metal, perhaps. We're hoping it's not, because we wouldn't want something like this to be damaged and destroyed.
The 134-year-old artifact has silver in it and belongs to the Tecumseh Heritage Centre. St. Anne's Parish is on the corner of Tecumseh Road and L'Esperance Road. Officials are asking anyone with information to call police or Crime Stoppers. Premier Doug Ford had some choice words for a protester in the public gallery at Queen's Park, as tenant advocates loudly voiced their opposition to Bill 60. Still, the Ford government fast-tracked its new housing bill. Lorenda Redekop has the latest.
Anger as the government fast-tracks its latest housing bill. Advocates and opposition parties say the bill will make it easier and faster for landlords to evict tenants.
You're putting people on the streets!
With the changes, a tenant also has to put up half the money a landlord says is owed before the Landlord and Tenant Board will hear their case.
It points the finger at every single renter and tenant in the province and says, you're at fault. Every single one of you is going to pay.
This premier is so dismissive, and his government is rushing bills through that are going to have real impacts on regular people. And they don't even care. They don't want to have a committee hearing. They don't want to listen to people.
Over the weekend, thousands of people demonstrated against the bill, saying it will target many more renters than those the government wants to crack down on.
Minister, there's a lot of opposition.
The housing minister disagrees.
This legislation deals with people that are the bad actors, bad landlords, bad tenants.
Not one protection is being altered in this bill.
He says it's about speeding up the process at a backlogged Landlord and Tenant Board. And while the bill was fast-tracked, skipping the committee process, he says he did listen.
I've spent the summer talking to landlords, to landlords, to home builders, to the entire housing community.
Not to tenants, though?
I've talked to lots of tenants.
Initially, though, he left them off his list.
Shame!
Earlier, as the tenant advocates and all visitors were removed from the gallery, the premier fired back. It's a bit hard to make out, but he tells the man to go find a job.
That's uncalled for. He's got a short fuse, and that's just inappropriate.
After Bill 60 passed, the NDP used its Opposition Day motion to try to get the government to reverse it, a way to send a message. But no surprise, given the PC majority, that motion failed. Lorenda Redekop, CBC News, Toronto.
The provincial government is set to propose a new way to get people to pay up if they breach their bail conditions. Clara Pasica explains from Toronto Police Headquarters.
Ontario government ministers were at Toronto Police Headquarters today to talk about a new bill they'll introduce tomorrow. They indicate has a number of measures which aim to increase bail compliance and keep violent repeat offenders behind bars.
Under our proposed bail system, a cash security deposit would be required in the full amount ordered by the court before the accused is released from custody. Right now, the courts will sometimes allow a person to be released on bail with a promise to pay.
They'll also be putting in place more collection tools to be used if needed. But just how big a problem is fail to comply with release orders? Well, Toronto Police Chief Myron Demkews says it's become a pretty big problem. It's the third most common charge associated with firearm offenses.
In the last year, Toronto Police conducted over 21,000 bail compliance checks. Right now, we are monitoring over 1,200 offenders on our dashboard, including 677 individuals for firearms offenses.
He says he supports the expansion of the bail compliance dashboard province-wide. The province says it has a plan to keep offenders behind bars.
We would bring 1,000 new beds online soon,
and we will likely exceed that target in places like Toronto, in London, in Niagara, in Thunder Bay, and in Sudbury. And we are seriously exploring reopening the jails that the Liberals closed in Walkerton and in Brantford.
The government is also considering other measures like having people out on bail pay for their own ankle monitor technology instead of having all taxpayers foot the bill. Clara Pasica, CBC News, Toronto.
The country's largest rodent, and I did check on this, it is a rodent, it's making a comeback along the Detroit River. I'm talking about beavers. Rodent, national animal, it's both. It's a promising sign for Mother Nature, but it's not all smooth sailing when the beavers show up. Video producer Mike Evans took a trip to the riverbank to learn more.
We're down here today. We're at the Detroit River. We're with Peter Barry, and today we're talking about beavers. Peter, tell me what the problem is with the beavers.
So we've got beavers now down here at the end of the Brock Street and the end of the mill, and they're decimating the trees that we have. The ones that we've planted for the park are virtually gone, and then the older ones here, they're actually taking quite a few of them down. It won't take long before they're all gone.
It's a problem because it's not like you can just remove the beavers. They're here to stay, right?
The beavers are protected. This is their habitat. It's actually a good thing the beavers are here. That's good. That means the river's recovering, that nature is coming back. So we don't want to interrupt that, but we got to protect the trees we have left.
Tell us about some of the damage that you've seen sustained down here.
We're seeing trees that are probably 30, 40 years old that the beavers are chewing through sometimes in one night. And when these trees disappear, the old root systems are not enough to protect these shorelines. So it has the potential to cause a greater damage than the loss of trees. As these beavers take the trees down along the water, they fall into the water and start to drift. Then this log will stay underneath the surface of the water. And if you're a boater, that's not the thing you want to hit. So this particular beaver is at the foot of Brock Street, behind Brock Street School in there, and you could see the pile of twigs and branches, but it's got a huge network underneath that the family is living and working from. So they're all the way from the end of Brock Street all the way to the Ambassador Bridge taking trees. You can tell that's a tall beaver standing up from here to here, chewing through there, and the teeth marks that are through. It's not giving up. It's going to keep going. Unfortunately, this tree is now dead. There's no coming back. So whether it falls from the beaver or will fall from rot, it becomes unsafe.
Man, that guy's got a cool job, harbor master. He kind of looks like what you'd think of a harbor master is as well. But let's take a quick peek at your forecast with Riley Lachuk. Take it away, Riley.
Well, thanks, Acton. I mean, a pretty pleasant day to start, at least. Then we got some cloud cover building in. A late day. Again, temperatures above seasonal for this time of the year. 9 degrees in Windsor, 10 in Sarnia, London at 9 degrees as well. Usually we should be at about 5 for this time of the year. So another day where we have seen temperatures above seasonal. Looking at a temperature overnight tonight around 6 degrees, mainly cloudy skies, a light southerly wind. And then we get into some rain as we get into the afternoon tomorrow. Temperature around 10 degrees. We'll talk about that and when we could see some snow in the forecast as well. That's coming up. Yes, as we get toward the end of the week, I'll go into details on that when I come back.
Legendary musician Jimmy Cliff has died. Known for many hits, including You Can Get It If You Really Want, he helped turn reggae into a global phenomenon. Cliff was born in Jamaica in 1944 during a hurricane. He moved to that country's capital in the 50s to make music, and at only 14, he became nationally famous for the song Hurricane Hattie. He went on to record 30-plus albums, performed all over the world for more than 6 decades. He ended up winning 2 Grammys, nominated for 7. In 2010, he was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Jimmy Cliff was 81 years old. Still to come, Black Friday deals are already in full swing on both sides of the border. But are the discounts good enough to get people opening up their wallets? More on that next.
Simple.
Canada's official opposition is questioning the Prime Minister after his recent comments about U.S. trade talks. When the PM was asked over the weekend when he had last spoken to Donald Trump, Carney replied, "Who cares?" Marina von Stackelberg reports.
The Conservatives are hammering the Liberals about an answer Mark Carney gave after he was asked when was the last time he spoke with Donald Trump.
It's the Prime Minister who said, "Who cares?" when he was asked just over the weekend about the failure to keep his promises on trade.
Mr. Speaker, the Leader of the Opposition knows very well that our government was elected to defend Canadian workers and the Canadian economy.
Good morning, Prime Minister. Reporters regularly ask Carney when he has last spoken to the U.S. president, since the Prime Minister's office doesn't always disclose it. This time, his answer was pointed.
Who cares? I mean, it's a detail. It's a detail. I spoke to him. I'll speak to him again when it matters.
Carney says he's been busy passing his government's first budget and launching new trade agreements.
I don't have a burning issue to speak with the president about right now. When America wants to come back and have the discussions on the trade side, we will have those discussions.
It's now been more than a month since Trump called off trade talks after Ontario ran an anti-tariff ad in the United States. Since then, the pair have not had any official meetings.
He appeared a little dismissive of the United States and the impact of the tariffs on Canadians. And I think, obviously, that wasn't optimal. And we just have to hope that it doesn't, in fact, continue to deteriorate the relationship.
The Prime Minister's office now says Carney is considering a trip to Washington next week to attend the World Cup draw, which Canada is co-hosting next year with the U.S. and Mexico. But so far, there's no indication that Carney plans to meet with Trump. Marina von Stackelberg, CBC News, Ottawa.
You may have already seen some early Black Friday deals on store shelves and online. This year, many Canadians are reeling in spending, however, as they feel the financial pinch, and businesses are feeling the effects. Jennifer Lagrassa explains how some sellers are changing tack.
We're cutting our margins pretty deep on that one.
For the first time, this small business owner is offering a Black Friday sale, up to 50% off.
This is going to be pretty big for us as a small business.
Such steep discounts likely won't fill her pockets, but she's hoping they get customers back in the door and product out.
The economy is not really great. People can't really afford things.
A year of high inflation and economic uncertainty means shoppers are on the lookout for savings this holiday season.
It's more expensive than last year. I'm going to take advantage of Black Friday.
So our budget is what we can afford to make sure we're not messing up with any of the other payments.
Even if I had the same budget, if I were to get the same things as last year, it'd probably end up costing like $100 or $200 more.
The trade conflict also weighing heavy on consumers' wallets, with a recent Bank of Canada survey finding the uncertainty is dampening spending expectations.
The retailers that are going to win to draw those Canadians in more are those that have, really good deals, promotions.
And big box stores are listening, with some pushing steeper discounts than last year.
I think we've got great pricing and customers will find really exciting deals on a range of products.
And deals are still starting way before the official Black Friday.
We started off on November 3rd, just to kind of get them in a little bit earlier and let them shop kind of at their own pace.
For smaller shops, discounts might be doing the heavy lifting.
People are struggling paying their groceries, so coming to a place like ours, I feel like it is a luxury, like buying these little knickknacks.
But they're hoping that a desire to buy Canadian will also pay off. Jennifer Lagrassa, CBC News, Windsor.
Viewers, email me your best local stores I should be hitting up for Black Friday deals. I want to know, but still ahead, a full look at your weekly forecast. Could we hit double digits at this time of year? I don't know. Find out next. Welcome back. We've got more on the upcoming forecast. Weather specialist Riley Lachuk is standing by to break down everything that we can expect. So Riley, are temperatures set to change?
Well, thanks, Acton. Yeah, I mean, we are looking at things changing as we get a little bit closer to the start of winter here, and we'll get a bit of a taste of that as we get toward the end of the week. Here's a look at satellite imagery from the afternoon hours today. You can really see when that cloud started to build in as we got through the later afternoon, but I'm going to widen things out because there is a couple of things to see here, a bigger picture. So first off, this weak disturbance that started to form over the Midwest, this is what will bring us some showers as we get through the day tomorrow, but it's what's happening on the southern prairies that'll have a bigger impact as we get toward the end of the week, and not just with sky conditions, but with our temperatures as well. This system bringing quite a bit of snow to southern Alberta, into southern Saskatchewan, and quite a mess as we got through the afternoon today. not looking at that coming to southern Ontario, but certainly we'll get some impacts as we get into the next few days here. So you can see that first disturbance start to push in as we get through the overnight hours. By the time we're into the morning, that's when we start to get into some of the shower activity, and perhaps not rain all day. There'll likely be some dry slots into this, but just prepare for a bit of a soggy day as we get through the day on Tuesday. Like I said, you'll see some dry slots into some of this, but as we get into the evening, that does taper off. So it's pretty quick moving. I'll talk about amounts here in just a moment. Then we're left with really just a mainly cloudy sky, maybe some scattered showers overnight into Wednesday. And then you can see that low as it starts to push over the Great Lakes. And this does a couple of things. First off, some showers get triggered along a warm front that pushes through in ahead of this. So maybe a few showers into Wednesday morning, but as we get into some cooler air with the cold front that comes through, this is when we could see some of this transitioning over to some flurry activity even as we get Wednesday overnight into early Thursday morning. Not talking again any major accumulations, but certainly you will notice the temperatures feeling much, much cooler as we get toward the end of the week here. So what this is translating into, it's a pretty general 5 to 10 millimeters really right throughout southwestern Ontario. Some pockets closer to the GTA where we could get into maybe that 10 to 12 millimeter range. So prepare for a bit of rain as we head through the day tomorrow. Temperatures, first thing in the morning, I mean, these temperatures are actually closer to daytime highs for this time of the year. So we should be around 5 degrees for a high, already waking up at 8 in Chatham, Kent, 6 in London. And then the long range, yeah, here we go, 10 degrees for Wednesday. And then you'll really notice that drop in temperatures, Acton, and a lot of wind as we get toward the end of the week.
10 degrees all the way down to 1. I don't know, the hardest choice of the week, how warm of a coat to wear. That's our show. See you next time.